Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. How about Boris here with some more Hearthstone gameplay. This arena run started off kind of rockily, lost the first game against the fellow Paladin who beat the crap out of me. It was all thanks to a Wild Pyromancer, Acolyte of Pain combo, where he got 3 cards off the Acolyte, in part because I'd played a Master Swordsmith on turn 2, so I won't be drafting that card again anytime soon if I can help it. And in the second game, we played against a Priest who went for Divine Spirit, Inner Fire combos. He played 2 Divine Spirits and 1 Inner Fire that game, and that really cost him. Here I'm going to go ahead and mulligan Consecration because I do have 3 of them and there's no guarantee it'll be useful on turn 4. But we actually end up getting a pretty damn fine curve here. So we got the Infiltrator on turn 1. We have the Argent Protector on turn 2 to buff this up so I can actually attack with it and not die to Shapeshift. And then the Cleric on turn 3 for more buffage. It is not impossible, but it is difficult for the opponent to clear my board as a druid after this opening. Dread Corsair might as well be called like the I always show up in your hand whenever you don't have True Silver Champions Corsair, because seriously, this is ridiculous. What does he have for 3 mana that he's so excited about? A Harvest Golem. Well, that's alright. I can deal with that. So, thanks to the fact that Shatterstone Cleric's a pretty good card, we can kill this Harvest Golem in a variety of ways. We can either buff this guy, kill the Golem, pop Divine Shield, kill the damaged Golem. This is a 2-1, this is a 3-1, this is a 3-2. Very vulnerable to swipe, but he used a coin, so it would be at least another turn before he played swipe. Or I could buff this, pop Divine Shield to kill the Golem, and then just have this guy die to the damaged Golem. Then I have a 3-2 and a 3-2, so I'm less vulnerable to swipe, but I have 1 fewer minion. I am going to trust my instincts and do it this way, under the logic that a mostly dead minion is better than an already dead minion. And while I am vulnerable to swipe, I conjecture that there will be something for these minions to do before they die to swipe. I mean, I'm already a card up, so if he goes a card up with swipe, I'm okay with it. So, as long as there's something reasonable for me to do with these minions, if he plays something or other on this turn, I'm fine. Now, he could just, of course, shapeshift to kill one of them. That also works. But then he's passing his whole turn shapeshifting, so I don't really... Whoa! Okey-doke! He's hit in the face. Well, what this means, of course, is that he has swipe. 100% he has swipe. Because if he didn't have swipe, then he would have just killed one of my minions. So what we're going to do here is the following. I'm actually going to swing like that. And, well, I might as well just, I guess, swing with everything. Swing, swing. And I'm going to put one of these guys back in my hand. Let's put this guy back in my hand, even though he's the one who's buffed. And then I'm going to replay him and buff that guy again. So what I'm doing here is I am completely assuming that my opponent has a swipe, so I'm just 100% playing around it. So now swipe is just terrible. It kills only 1 minion. This is like the worst a swipe could possibly be. And he has the swipe because I'm good at this motherfucking game. It's going to kill off one of my minions and then pass the turn. Congratulations. Now if he has 2 swipes... Okay, if he's got 2 swipes, then not that I'm screwed. But I'm gonna hope that's not the case. We're gonna go ahead and get a lot of damage through. He's already down below half health. Play an Argent Squire. So now I can swipe the Dark Iron Dwarf, and that will kill off everything except my Argent Squire, whose Divine Shield will get popped. If he's got 2 swipes, he's got 2 swipes. It's hard to beat a druid who's got 2 swipes. He's got 2 swipes. Well, that sucks. I didn't think he had 2 of them. Thought he had just had the 1, so alas. Well, we're going to go ahead and assume he doesn't have 3 swipes. And now we're in racing mode. Going to play the Dread Corsair. This is actually really important because it stops Shapeshift from killing off my 1 toughness creatures here. And if I can just keep plinking away with these things, he'll be dead in a few turns. So it's do or die. He needs a big taunter here. He's got a big taunter. Oh my god. Well... Some games are just destined to lose. I correctly read that he had a swipe, and it didn't matter because he had a second swipe. Do I have any answers to this? I do. Consecration is not ideal, but it is good enough. Because it'll kill the wolf, it'll damage the Sen'jin enough. I can push damage through. I'm going to make a recruit. So we are in hardcore racing mode here. Oh, man. This is lethal, of course, but with Shapeshift he can buy himself another turn. I don't have that much in the way of burn potential. Well, True Silver Champion, that's the main thing I've got. As long as he doesn't play taunts, True Silver Champion is my saving grace. This could have been a lay on hands, and I wish it were, because then next turn I could actually draw 3 cards. This draft could actually cause me to lose the game, or at least it cause me to lose this particular game, because lay on hands would have been huge here on turn 8. I could still win if I get a Sea Giant or Gruul as well, or True Silver Champion also is the kill, because he didn't play a Taunter. Got a Claw. Okay, so it's not the kill anymore. The Claw, he didn't need the Claw to get the kill, he's just using it for life gain. And so now True Silver Champion would fall 1 short of killing him. Bloodsail Raider. Alright, we're gonna do this, swing everything at his face. Do I play the big game Hunter here? I don't think so. I think I need to keep that around because if he does play an Ironbark Protector, which would be like an amazing play here for a Druid against a Paladin, I want to just get that kill and win the game. Well, it's not actually going to be the win either because he can still use this to kill a Recruit. I'd be able to deal 3 damage, he's got 5 health. But if he plays Ironbark Protector, that's my one hope that the big game Hunter will still win me the game instead of a lay on hands. The nice thing about big game Hunter is nobody's going to play around it. That is a fact. Alright, he did not have a Defender of Argus or a Sun Fury Protector, which would have been very scary here. I now do win. If I get a True Silver Champion, I'll win just on the nose. Wolf Rider is something I have in the deck I would win as well. Consecration, not quite good enough, but I will still play it just to kill his Fairy Dragon and bring him low. If this had been a 3-2, by the way, I would have actually won the game. And if I'd played this, I might have been able to win as well. Alright, so do I play this now? I don't think so. I don't think it's worth playing still. I think that he could kill it. He can kill off everything anyway. This kills the Raider, this kills the big game Hunter, Shapeshift kills the Recruit, and he stays at 1 health, so there's really no point in playing this down. Alright, there's the Ironbark Protector. Unfortunately, he killed off all my minions. So, you know, that's not great. But the good news is that I do now have this board where he can only kill the big game Hunter with the Twilight Drake. He's got to deal with both of these minions. Of course, if he has another Ironbark, I'm reduced to waiting for a Consecration because I didn't have any Hammer of Wraths here. I'd have to wait for a Consecration to be able to kill him. Right, luckily, he doesn't have another big game Hunter, so that's good. It's worth noting the big game Hunter may look great in this game, but it really wasn't. Lay on hands would have been much better. He's actually going to go ahead and go out in style and kill himself, so okay. Well played. Consecration arriving in time. I did have 3 of them in the deck, so it's not unlikely that I would have drawn one at some point. And yeah, that was good. Close one. This deck apparently... Actually, I didn't make any predictions after this deck. Did I make any predictions after this deck? I don't know. I think it's alright. Probably it's a little top light. It could use a little bit more endgame, but Sea Giant and Gruul are so big that I don't really mind, given that I have True Silver Champions, Consecrations, and some good 4-drops like Violet Teacher. So I don't know. I think the deck should be alright. Plus got a good early game and everything. Just been some tough games. Almighty Bob, again, it's just like being against a priest. I'm happy to go up against a warrior because his hero ability does not impact the board at all. Like the priest can even like heal his own minions. The warrior just doesn't do anything to the board. All right, now we got a True Silver Champion. Will I actually get the Dread Corsair? There is only 1 in the deck, so it's not super likely. Hopefully my opponent will pass the turn here. Nope, not a chance. That sucks. Sun Fury Protector. Now I could actually play a Master Swordsmith against this. It's probably better than just throwing down a Recruit and having the Recruit die. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about enraging this thing? Alright, well, we'll play a Master Swordsmith here. So if that had been a Mind Control attack, I would have been making a Recruit right now. The Recruit would then just die to the Sun Fury Protector. Kind of a wash, I think, in this case. So if the Sun Fury Protector runs in and kills this, or attacks it, then Consecration will kill it later. Luckily, he didn't have a... Oh, he's going to have Cruel Taskmaster. Ah, that's pretty good. Well, luckily, these things do both die to Consecration. So I have an interesting choice here. Do I play the Bloodsail Raider? I mean, I could wait for later and play True Silver Champion, and then Bloodsail Raider. Alright, I'm going to play this right now. And the reason is that I really want to play Consecration. And this thing, in case he plays like a really big minion or something and I can't play Consecration, this is actually threatening to kill his 2/2s. So I feel like there's some value there. Alright, so yeah, like this is a good example. I can't actually play Consecration because I would just Well, I could, but it would make this enraged. And then, that would be bad. So instead, we're going to do that. And I'm going to kill the Gruul Taskmaster here. The reason for the Taskmaster is in case he has a Panda. Taskmaster is the card that I would less rather see him put back into his hand. We've got the Geomancer Consecration combo, so on turn 6 I can deal 3 damage across the board. It's going to use the Wrathy Weaponsmith to kill off my Bloodsail Raider, unfortunately. Luckily, my weapon lets me kill the Weaponsmith, so I'm still coming out alright here.
For justice.
For justice. So I could play this thing and the Shattered Sun Cleric, but I think I'd rather just play the Violet Teacher. With 5 health, it survives against these two, so he's going to need some help killing it. And of course, if you ask your opponent enough questions, he'll eventually run out of answers. So he's got 6 cards plus a weapon. I've got 5 cards, but I'm about to draw my 6. He's actually going to throw out the weapon to get the Arcanite Reaper. So he's wasting a little bit of his card advantage, but that's still the correct move, of course, because that will let him kill a really good minion of mine. I got another Consecration here. What we're going to do is the following. I'm going to make a Reinforcement, a Raptor, and I'm going to Shattered Sun... Oh, I can't! Oh my gosh, wow, I can't do math, folks. I'm sorry. Clearly I cannot do math. We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to throw this Geomancer away because it could be useful later on. I would have liked to Shattered Sun Cleric this Recruit so that it would trade against the Protector here. Anyway, the Reaper is now overkill, so he probably doesn't want to hit this with the Reaper. If he has another way of killing this, he'd be better off doing that. A big 6-drop here would be really scary. Luckily, this is not such a thing. And he's going to choose to... Oh no, God, these arrows are wrong all the time. He's going to go for the overkill on that, which is a pretty fair move. And he's going to play another Imp Master Oche. Okay. So this is actually kind of unfortunate because it means that Geomancer plus Consecration does not kill these Imp Masters off. He's left with a pair of 1/1s. Then again, they're just going to, like... If I do that, they're just going to, like, be 1/1s. They'll replace themselves with Imps that should die pretty easily. Yeah, I think this is worth doing. Geomancer, Consecration. Pass the turn. So unless he puts Rampage on one of these Imp Masters, that was fine by me. And even then I can use True Silver Champion to mop them up if need be. Stampeding Kodo is extremely irritating because it kills the Geomancer. It does not die to True Silver Champion. Oh, that's so irritating. Alright, I think next turn I'm actually going to play True Silver and Consecrate. Clear out his board. Get rid of the Kodo. Well, clear out his board. That's redundant. And still be doing alright on cards. Yeah, this is fine. So we're going to go ahead and True Silver. Hit the Kodo. Consecration number 2, which I'm sure is extremely maddening to my opponent. But the game is anybody's here. I mean, he's got 3 cards to my 3. We're exactly at equal life totals. In late game top deck slugfests, Paladins have a huge advantage over Warriors because these recruits add up. So, geez, these 5 toughness minions. So, it's, you know, anyone's game, but the Paladin definitely has the edge. I'm going to have to kill this Cult Master, of course, because I cannot afford him to get any cards. We'll play the Argent Squire, a Recruit. Is it worth it to play the Shattered Sun Cleric, which I know will just die to the Violet Teacher? I think so. Let's buff that thing. Keep the Abusive Sergeant on tap. And then the Violet Teacher, if she kills the Shattered Sun Cleric, the Argent Squire will finish her off. And I can get this to maybe put on the Recruit and have the Recruit kill something. Alright, so as a Paladin against a Warrior, I think you really want it to go to the top deck slug, to like a top deck war, because you have an advantage. So depending on how good his 2 cards are, if I can kill his 2 cards with my stuff, then I'll be fine. Of course, Sea Giant and Gruul nowhere to be found, obviously. Darkscale Healer would be the other card I'd like to see, or a Frost Elemental. Direwolf Alpha makes no difference of any sort. Gorehowl makes a pretty big difference, though. He can actually almost kill me. Is he gonna do that, or is he just gonna... No, he's gonna kill minions. That's fair. So unfortunately, I cannot clear his board now. Ah, that's actually pretty nice. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this to kill the Violet Teacher. We're going to do... this to protect my most valuable thing and make a Recruit. He's got 8 damage he could deal here, so it's not likely that he'll be able to kill me. Note, by the way, that with 7 and a Violet Teacher, he could have actually dealt 11 damage to me and taken me down to 4 health. That might have been the smarter thing for him to do. He's going to Spell Break. my minion, which is very frustrating. Because this thing with 3 health is actually a huge problem. I can't deal with it easily, and he's actually going to get to kill off my 1/1s here. So I can either kill the 5/3 or I can kill the 2/1. I need some help for my deck. Maybe another Consecration or a big minion. Darkscale Healer, well, could be worse. It will die to his Gore Howl, but he's got to be a little bit careful about getting hit. What is more important to kill? It's a good question. Throw these 2 away to kill that thing, or just use a recruit to kill that thing and hit him in the face. I'm gonna hit him in the face. I think it's important to hit him as much as I can because he is Gore Howling a lot, which is helping him immensely in this top deck war. So I need to try to get as much damage on to make him pay for using Gore Howl so much. So we're in a top deck war, but I don't actually have the advantage because he has Gore Howl here. So my normal Paladin advantage is not being manifest. He could have dealt 8 plus 5 is 13 damage. I would have been down to 4 health. Instead he has to do this. And he's going to get to clear my board out, so I have to get Consecration or it's over. Sea Giant also pretty solid. And every recruit is helping. Alright, so he needs an answer to Sea Giant. If he just ends up throwing these 2 away to kill the Sea Giant, we're pretty much reset. Other than, I mean, I've got a recruit versus his card and a Gore Howl. Oh my gosh, does he actually have the kill? What, does he have a Reckless Rocketeer? Wrathy Weaponsmith. Okay, no, he realizes that against the Sea Giant, he can't win fairly, so he's actually going for the kill, which is the right thing to do, because if I don't get any kind of an answer, I can kill this, I can kill that, and he's gonna have 5 damage exactly. Well, Frost Elemental doesn't quite let me win, but at the very least, it lets me survive for a turn. So we're going to do that, obviously. We're gonna do that because it is the hardest hitting thing he's got. I couldn't kill him, by the way. I only had what was it? I only had 9 damage and he's got 12 health, so his armor up actually was quite relevant. So what do you freeze? This thing deals more damage, but if he gets a Heroic Strike, well, Heroic Strike is the one card that matters for freezing him, whereas any sort of a buffing creature matters for freezing that. So we're gonna have to freeze that thing. Well, this is the tense moment, folks, because actually now I have 13, 14 damage. I kill him even if he armors up, so he needs either to kill me or to interact with me in some way. If he just gets a generic minion, he loses. So there's the 14th point of health. I've got exactly 14 damage here. What is this card? Oh my god, this is tense. This is tense. It's a vanilla creature that doesn't do anything. So he's passing the turn quite smartly because you can see it. You can imagine sometimes people would get very, you know, caught up here and try to kill some minions or whatever. But I've actually got lethal damage, so I'm just going to hit him in the face twice. And give him a well played. Consecration for a little bit of extra insurance there was nice. Well, that was close. He could have gotten me down to 3 health. There were 2 occasions where he could have gotten me down to 4, and another one he could have gotten me down to 2. So that was a close game. Very tough games here. Razor's Edge, these games. Really, the only easy one of my 3 wins was against that Priest. Every other game was extremely close. That Warrior, though, I mean, whatever. He had a Gore Howl, so psh, whatever. And, by the way, it's worth noting, if that Sea Giant had been a Sword of Justice, I would have lost 100%. So, I made a correct draft pick on that one. So far, Master Swordsmith, worse than Mind Control Tech. Equality, probably worse than Azure Drake. Mulligan this thing. Actually, let's... You know what? Consecration. Okay, if I draw more Consecrations, I'll feel a little bit annoyed. But it is so good against Shamans for clearing out totems. And just obviously the board in general, that I'd like to make sure that I have it. This is an interesting situation here because... if I play this now, I won't get to get it buffed later, but you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to play this. The reason for this is if he makes totems, I want to be able to kill him. And I also, as a paladin, want to have creatures on the board, because paladins want to keep creatures. So this makes it more likely that the recruit I play next turn will be left alive. Now, it's worth noting that, again, if I were any other class, I wouldn't coin this out, because then I'd have nothing to do on turn 2. We will kill this, and make a Loot Hoarder. Again, because it's good for clearing out totems. And unless he has Earth Shock, he doesn't really want to use removal on this. Okay, please don't be the 1/1. Oh no, does he actually have a removal spell? First of all, it's a 1/1. And second of all, he actually has Earth Shock. Mother... Well, whatever. I guess only one of those actually matters. Big Game Hunter... Fire Elementals, despite being super broken, are only 6 power, so Big Game Hunter can't quite kill those. Earth Elemental, though, is an epic, not likely to be had, but if he does play that, Big Game Hunter is pretty much going to win me the game on the spot. This is fine. I get to kill it with True Silver Champion. Maybe for once I'll get Dread Corsair with it. That'd be nice. What is he thinking about? There's nothing to do here. Thank you. Panda, not helpful. Huh, I can Big Game Hunter twice. So we're going to kill that Ogre Magi. We're going to kill this 1/1. So now I am actually kind of happy that it was a 1/1, because while Shamans do have a bajillion and one ways of killing this guy, it's, you know, something that he has to address. And it will kill, like, Dark Scale Healers and Senjins and Yetis and things right now. So he's in potentially a pickle if he doesn't have a Lightning Bolt for this guy. See, with True Silver Champion, that kills most things, and then the 5 toughness creatures this will kill. It's going to Lightning Bolt my dude to kill it off. Well, that's only fair, I suppose. He's overloaded next turn, so at least there's no Fire Elemental. Abusive. This is actually the most terrible hand ever, because I can't do anything. So, okay. Here's the thing. I could just obviously play the Panda and a Recruit and call it a day. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that Abusive Sergeant plus the Big Game Hunter will actually kill 5 power minions. And Abusive Sergeant plus Panda plus Abusive Sergeant plus Big Game Hunter will actually kill 3 power minions. That is a total of 7 mana, which is available in a couple of turns. So I'll take a little bit of a risk here. I'm just going to make a Recruit, and I'm going to pass the turn. So the idea here is that I want to be able to Abusive Sergeant, Big Game Hunter, kill something, or potentially on turn 7, Abusive Sergeant, Panda, Abusive Sergeant, Big Game Hunter, kill something. He's just making Recruits, though. So I pass the turn, and he also passes the turn. I cannot play the Sea Giant. I'm 1 mana shy. I'm 2 mana shy of playing Gruul. Well, here's a chance where had I had a Sylvanas, I would be much happier about it. Well, that really sucks that this is all I can do. And pass the turn. So we are both passing the turn. We're like both awkwardly not having anything to play. Ah, jeez. That's sad. 1 mana off from Sea Giant. And this could have been a Sylvanas, but it wasn't. The problem now is he almost certainly has a Hex for my stuff. Oh, well, this is actually kind of nice. So he plays a Core Hound, so I don't even need to do anything fancy. I just Big Game Hunter it. And just to have something to do, let's buff this thing. Kill spell damage totem. I'm well aware that a Lightning Storm will clear my board. But this thing availed itself. This thing is just a Recruit. So he Lightning Storms, hopefully doesn't do anything else. And I, you know, start baiting out his hexes. God, with so many cards and him passing so many turns, it's almost a guarantee that he has a Hex. Alright, so he uses Forked Lightning, so he'll be overloaded for a couple next turn. So what would I rather get hexed, the Sea Giant or the Gruul? I guess the Sea Giant is what I'd rather get hexed, because the Gruul gets bigger and bigger. I mean, the Gruul is a Sea Giant. You play it, it becomes an 8/8, and then it gets bigger and bigger. So yeah, the Sea Giant is what I'd rather get hexed. My concern is that he actually probably has 2 hexes. I'm sad that Forked Lightning hit the Big Game Hunter, because with the Abusive Sergeant and the Panda, I could still have potentially used the Big Game Hunter again. So that's annoying. But I mean, there was only a 1 in 3 chance of the Big Game Hunter surviving. Alright. So there is one saving grace here. There is a possibility that my opponent actually does not have Hex, and the reason he's not playing stuff is because he doesn't want to die to True Silver Champion. But that's fine by me. So we're going to go ahead and play Sea Giant here. We're going to fish out that, hopefully, first and only Hex. Kill off the Demolisher. Keep the Abusive Sergeant around, because might as well. Even though without Big Game Hunter anymore, it's not quite so combo-rific, it's still a handy thing to keep on tap. So we're going to see if he's got the Hex for the Sea Giant. I have nothing else that would bait a Hex, so I will just play the Gruul right into his second Hex, if need be. If he does have a Hex, he'd have 4 mana left over. He's been passing a lot of turns, so he might not have anything to do with that 4 mana. Even if he plays a Senjin, Abusive Sergeant will help me kill the Senjin with the help of Shattered Sun Cleric. He's got a Frost Elemental, so interestingly, okay, he might not have a Hex. He might not have the Hex. Or he might have the Hex and he just is sneaking this in here. So I could do a couple of different things. One, I could Abusive Sergeant and then Divine Shield and kill that. Or I could just play the Gruul, Abusive Sergeant, and then kill this Frost Elemental, but then the Shattered Sun Cleric would die. The concern is that he's got 2 hexes, because if he does have 2 hexes, he would then on turn 10 just hex, and then I'm in pretty rough shape. Then again, if I Divine Shield on this and leave it alive, he can still hex once. You know what? There was a couple turns ago where he played Forked Lightning instead of Lightning Storm, so I'm guessing it doesn't have a Lightning Storm. So what I'm going to do here is open up wide to a Lightning Storm. Because, I don't know, I just suspect he actually has 2 hexes. And if he has 2 hexes, this is a much better board than Abusive Sergeant, Sea Giant, Gruul, which is what the other option was. Like, I could have either had this or just 3 minions. So does he have a Lightning Storm? That's the question. Did I read him incorrectly? He has a Hex. Okay, so, well, he might still have a Lightning Storm. He has a Lightning... Well, I read him incorrectly. So I thought he didn't have Lightning Storm, but he does. So everything dies except for the Worgen, which is a coin flip. He wins the coin flip on the Worgen. And the Mad Bomber almost kills his own totem. Alright, well, we gotta do this now. We gotta play Gruul. And a Master Swordsmith. Actually, I should have probably made a Recruit, because the Swordsmith will just die to this Mad Bomber. That was probably silly. Well, let's see if he has a second hex. I mean, if he does, then he wins. But given that he had 2 hexes and a Lightning Storm, my deck was just not equipped to beat that. I just couldn't win against that combination of things. This was a mistake. I should have just played a Recruit. I really screwed up there. Anyway, we'll see if he has another hex.
I wonder.
Hopefully he has a bunch of stuff that dies to Consecration. It's worth noting that with my Gruul out here, I don't really want to play a quality Consecration. Ah, okay. So that will have to... Well, the Gruul will have to take a little bit of a vacation killing the Stormwind Champion, of course. Although there's a Taunt Totem in the way. Yeah, I'm going to have to Consecrate to get rid of the Bomber and the Totem, so that the Gruul can get at the Stormwind Champion. Geomancer. I think that's worth it. Some extra damage through. So the question is, do I Panda the Gruul back into my hand to protect him? He'd be at 4 health. 4 health is a little bit tricky. If he does die to like a combination of things, like a Fire Elemental, or like an Argent... You know what? I'm going to just put this back into my hand. I don't want to... He clearly doesn't have a Hex, or he would have played it. This is a decent board against a Shaman right now, who's only got 3 cards. I'll replay it, have an 8/8, and then hopefully that, you know, pays off. I mean, it's possible that I will really regret it because he plays something huge this turn, but he doesn't seem to have that much endgame here. So I should be alright, and I can just replay the Gruul and have it be safe. So yeah, he had a Lightning Bolt, so like, you know, it's possible that he would have been able to actually kill this thing with something else. True Silver Champion. Okay, so do I play the Gruul or do I play True Silver Champion? I think we'll just play the Gruul here. And, yeah, I'll 2-for-1 myself voluntarily, get rid of one of these wolves. That way True Silver Champion can kill the other wolf, and then the Gruul is ready to start attacking the face. So I've already used Sea Giant, and I've used Gruul, so all I have left is Frost Elemental and a couple of Dark Scale healers as far as big bodies go. Had this Gruul been a Sylvanas instead, not only could I have played it earlier, but he wouldn't have been able to play Stormwind Champion, because I could have had the Sylvanas suicide against the champion and steal it. So yeah, that's probably a mistake. I'll take that lesson away. This would have been better off as Sylvanas. You get spell damage, that could potentially be scary. Now a pair of lightning bolts will kill this. Luckily he doesn't have that, he just has a dark scale healer.
little time.
He's gonna throw. Oh no, he's gonna attack me with the Spirit Wolf. Fair enough. All right, this is actually pretty nice. So we're gonna do this, that. Note that if I didn't have the Argent Protector, I would have actually used the Gruul to hit the wolf. Oh no, never mind. No, never mind. I would not have done that. I would have done exactly what I just did. Never mind, it's all good. This guy would then be, you know, at 4 fewer health. This protecting his health is nice though, because it makes it less likely that he'll be able to kill him with fire elementals and lightning bolts and whatnot. So the Gruul certainly looks impressive here, but keep in mind that I'm 1 top-decked hex away from losing him, and a Sylvanas would have already been good. So it's one of those cases where it looks good, but it would have been better had it been the other card that was available to me. Doomhammer is not very good here, because I have too much health for him to be able to burn me out, and it's really not any help against killing Gruul, which is what he really wants to be killing. Okay, well, let's hit him in the face. I'm not going to attack him with True Silver Champion. It's really important to keep the True Silver Champion around to kill off a Taunt Totem that he might drop. Now, this is around for killing Taunt Totems as well, but, you know, if he has another Fork Lightning or Lightning Storm, then I'll need the True Silver Champion to clear the way. Worth noting, by the way, the Gruul is lethal. It will get buffed again and kill him. So he has to have an answer to it right now, either a Taunt or a Hex. The Taunt Totem is not enough because I've got the clear for that, so he either has to ooze my weapon or play a different Taunter. Flame Tongue is really going to do nothing. Even with a conga line of totems, he doesn't bring this down enough. It only brings it down to 8. Forked Lightning, yeah, still not quite enough. You could bring this down to 5 with the conga line. He's gonna just kill him. Oh no, God, these, wow. So okay, let me just make a quick note. I apologize, but my commentary is gonna suffer a little bit because there's a bug now that I don't know when it was introduced, but the targeting arrows that tell you what your opponent is doing are really buggy. Like, really buggy. They just point at blatantly the wrong things. So I will just say, like, oh, he's hitting himself, and then he's actually not hitting himself at all. That's something I hope gets fixed. Alright, well, we sneak out another win. Another tough game. Lots of tough games. Very long video this one's going to be. Although, interestingly, it's going pretty well. I am not going to post any highlights from my last stream because the arena runs are all terrible. Okay, not terrible, but I played 3 arenas, 5 wins, 4 wins, and 4 wins was the record of the day. So it was kind of sad. Nothing really worth highlighting. And since I'm going to be making videos on the channel anyway every day now, I don't really see the need to add on bad videos. Jackawabi the Druid. Anyway, what I was saying though is that the arenas were so mediocre, but like this one, which feels weird, is still like playing out alright. Okay, we're going to go ahead and follow similar strategies before. I'm going to keep Consecration. If I get another one, that does kind of suck, but still, it's nice to make sure that you have it, because it is such a freaking good card. And since I drew the Argent Protector, seems silly not to point out the Bloodsail Raider. And then, as long as this does not die to a Wrath, I can buff it with the Divine Shield and move on with my life. So Wrath is pretty much the only game in town here. Claw doesn't quite do it. Oh, I'd love to see him shapeshift. That'd be great. Yay! So he's going to do nothing. Okay, no, I take that back. Claw Moonfire would have killed this, but I cannot remember the last time I've seen a Moonfire. Master Swordsmith. Alright. Since this thing is not in immediate peril, we will put the Swordsmith down. Now a Claw will kill this, so I am leaving this vulnerable to Claw. But I mean, a Claw would have killed this thing, so either way I get to keep a minion around. It's got a Wolf Rider, which I could have protected against also. Alright, so I could play the Loot Hoarder and the Argent Squire, or I could play just the Wolf Rider and swing. Let's play the Loot Hoarder and the Squire. If the Squire gets buffed, that could be pretty good. The Loot Hoarder got buffed. Okay, that's not as good. If he shapeshifts to kill the Loot Hoarder, I don't mind, because I do draw my card for it, so I'm not going a card down. It has half of his mana going down the tubes, just fine by me. And I've got the Wolf Rider here. It might not be adequate as removal, depending on what he plays, but it is potentially removal. Knife Juggler is really annoying. It's got a very good chance of being good. Okay, hitting me in the face is nice. That's perfect. He's gonna actually hit the Master Swordsmith here, which is an interesting choice. I'm not exactly sure why he did that. Okay, let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. We're gonna put a Divine Shield on this. And make a recruit. So now, swipe. It's not super effective. He can swipe this, kills the Loot Hoarder, but that draws a card. This did his job, kills a recruit, and pops a Divine Shield. I'd still prefer if he didn't have a swipe, but all things considered, it could definitely be a lot worse. He'd then have 4 cards to my 4 cards, and we'd just be starting afresh. It's got Starfall, which is basically the same as, it's exactly the same as a swipe, except I don't take a damage. So that's fine by me. Alright, well cool, we got our, like, only nice mid-game creature there, which could be very strong. At 6 mana, I've got Geomancer Consecration combo, which is nice if he, like, flips out a bunch of 2-drops here. That's not what's happening. He's playing an Ironbark, isn't he? Me without my big-game Hunter. Oh, man. Even, like, an Abusive Sergeant would be good, but no, I get that thing. Alright, we're going to make a little bit of a tech play here. I'm going to go ahead and do this and make a recruit. So my plan here is I'm hoping that he has to use the Ironbark on the Dread Corsair. Drops down to 5 health. Then I can Geomancer Consecration, drop it down to 2 health, and throw away my 1/1s. Hopefully that's what he's gonna do. No, he's gonna shapeshift and kill my shit. Balls. Well, this is sucking. That Ironbark. If I just had Big Game Hunter here, I would have been totally fine. But nope. And then he plays the Chillwind Yeti, which is also very good against Geomancer Consecration. I need a quality Consecration. Ah, there we go. Okay. This is not great, but it will have to make do. So we're gonna Consecrate. Some spell damage. Then Abusive Sergeant on my 1/1. Lets me kill off the Ironbark the hard way. I'm extremely vulnerable to swipe here, not to mention the fact that Shapeshift will kill this. So I'd say that my opponent, even though the card situation looks about equal, I'm behind. He just top decked a swipe. FML. And he plays a Sylvanas Guardian, which is actually amazing against the creatures I'm holding in my hand. And I can't keep recruits around because of Shapeshift. God damn it today. What is going on? What is going on? Alright, well, we're going to kill that thing the hard way. But he's way ahead. He's got the play. He's a card up. I didn't have Big Game Hunter when I needed it. And that's it. He had Innervate for Ironbark. He went all in on it. And it was... Are you motherfucking kidding me? Well, now the game's pretty much over. I could still win. I could still win if I got Sea Giant or Gruul, because he can't kill them. But of course, I didn't get them either. And I continue not to get them, preferring instead to get a Worgen Infiltrator. Well, this game, I am certain that there were things I could have done that would have helped me do better, like drafting-wise and playing-wise. But given what I did draft, I just lost it to a bad draw. He had Swipe when he needed it. He had Starfall when he needed it. I didn't get any of my endgame. I didn't get my Big Game Hunter. There were plenty of outs I had, plenty of things he could have not had, and none of it went my way, which is fine. That'll happen sometimes. Okay. So the Mad Bomber misses the Worgen Infiltrator. The fact that it enraged my Worgen doesn't matter because the Worgen could have been killed by that ooze anyway. Mark of Nature. So that Demolisher... Oh, he's going to do it on the Mad Bomber to protect the Demolisher. I see. Well, I need Gruul now or Sea Giant. It's the only way that I could conceivably win. Darkscale Healer doesn't quite cut it. But I'm not dead yet, so... You know, I'm going to hang in here, because it's still possible that I'll win if I get Gruul in time. The fact that he's a druid and can kill off my recruits is maddening, because that stops me from getting what advantage I might have been able to get otherwise. Harvest Golem, a good card, certainly. It's actually going to let this thing stick around. Big Game Hunter arrives too little, too late. I will 2-for-1 myself on this, because I don't have much of a choice in the matter. There's really no point in playing this. The Golem will just kill it, so I might as well keep it around in case he drops in either Ironbark. Odds of that are small, but remember, you have to play to your outs. My only out is that he plays an Ironbark, I kill it, and also get a Gruul later. That's clearly not happening here. Alright, now I'm at the point where even a Sea Giant or a Gruul wouldn't be enough. Consecration isn't really enough either. Is there a point to playing this and having it die to the Golem? I don't know, especially because the Demolisher's out here. I don't think so. So Demolisher kills the Recruit. Oh my gosh, this game was miserable. He had stuff and I didn't. Well, I guess the other games I had stuff and my opponent didn't, so, you know, it all comes back around. He drew some kind of dead card and I got a Tauren Warrior. Motherfucking... Okay, well, we're gonna have to just drop everything out now. And just hope the Demolisher hits my face. Does, actually, amazingly. So I could still survive here for just a second. He could kill this with the Golem and then... Well, he could shapeshift and then throw the Golem into it. It is possible the card he didn't play last time was like a swipe or something. No, it was a Wrath. That's right, he had no minions to kill. I see. He's not going to draw a card with it or anything, he's just going to kill the thing. And he's threatening lethal here. Next turn, because his 5 damage hitter is pretty big, so Sea Giant officially no longer wins me the game. Too little, too late, and that is not good enough. Alright, that sucked. So the games I lost in this arena were really, really terrible. And the wins were hard, so I guess this deck was pretty bad. But nothing doesn't help that I didn't draw any of my endgame cards. There were like 3 different cards I could have drawn that would have helped me win. And 3 different cards you could have not drawn that would have helped me win. Starfall Swipe, Innervate, or Ironbark. And none of that happened. It just all went the perfectly wrong way. So, you know, you lose one of those and you move on. But had I played better, it's possible that I could have fought through the bad luck that I was doomed to have in that particular game. So we're at 4-2. I don't really foresee much greatness for this arena run. But, you know, anything can happen. Let's take a quick look at my Paladin stats while we wait for the next worthy opponent to present himself. I'm on a really weird streak with Paladin. My last few runs, apologize for spoilers, you know, go look at the last Paladin run. It was like a long time ago. We're 12-1-8, 9-12-9. So it's like crazy good, but with like a 1 thrown in. So Paladin is a little bit hit or missy for me. Alright, I'm going to mulligan the Consecration because I've got no plays here. Luckily my opponent's a priest, so at least I can maybe drop some recruits and get those to stick. This is actually abysmal. So if my opponent has a slow start and plays nothing on turn 1, and allows my recruit to live on turn 2, I actually could be okay. But if he has a turn 1 play, this is very, very slow, and I'm going to be in trouble. Oh my god. Well, I'm not going to make a recruit here. So the thing about it is, if I make a recruit, he can just kill it with Northstrike Cleric, heal it, and draw a card. If I don't make a recruit, he can actually play another minion. I'm going to gamble that he doesn't have another minion to play. Okay, he does. That's awesome. So it actually would have been kind of cool to be able to play Raging Worgen and threaten to Wind Fury up against the Northstrike Cleric. Instead, we're going to have to play the Wolf Rider. And I'm actually going to kill the Fairy Dragon here. Reason for that is, I'd still like to, if he has a slow turn, play the Worgen down and just threaten to kill the Northstrike Cleric with it. No, he's got a Scarlet Motherfucking Crusader. Oh my god, I cannot catch a break today. I just cannot catch a break today. McDonald's is asking me, have you had your break today? And the answer is no. No, I haven't. I haven't, because I couldn't catch one. Alright, so we're going to play True Silver Champion, which is a bit lame against Scarlet Crusader. I really don't have any good answers to Scarlet Crusader. No silences in this deck. I passed on one Spellbreaker. Paladins obviously don't have anything like Shadow Word Pain or anything like that. Oh god, what is this? Fen Creeper. My lord. Oh my lord. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a premature Consecration. Well, the reason for this is it lets me kill off this Fen Creeper and play Argent Squire, which threatens to kill the Scarlet Crusader, although there's a million ways that he can answer this threat. Still a threat. I need to put up some kind of pressure rather than just letting him run amok. So he had a 1-2-3 play. Northshire, Fairy Dragon, Scarlet Crusader. And then he coined into Fen Creeper. I mean, it really doesn't get much more perfect than that. He's going to protect the Scarlet Crusader with this engine. Dread Corsair without True Silver Champion. Oh, I just busted up my True Silver Champion. Motherfucker. Honest to God. Well, the Worgen's not playable against Sen'jin. This is really not playable against Sen'jin either. So we'll just play this, because this actually could potentially survive. I'm going to pass the turn. I was, of course, like 1 mana away from playing Sea Giant. I don't have a good feeling about this game, but I feel like I'm going to play this is going to get Shadow Word Deathed, and I'm feeling it's also going to clear my board this turn, and then it's going to be that. No, it's just going to play Fen Creeper. Alright, that's fine. That is fine. So that's actually really one of the best things that could have happened, because now I can actually play stuff. So I can play up to a 3-mana minion, and then still drop a Sea Giant. The issue is I don't really want to play the Worgen, do I? No. So we're going to play Loot Hoarder.
Mind if I roll need?
Note that I can make a Recruit now and still play Sea Giant. So I will do this. And then I can kill off the Sen'jin. Note that this Scarlet Crusader has just been beating on me all game. My opponent really drafted a lot of taunt. We've seen 2 Fen Creepers and a Sen'jin. So I can get really low on health now if he wants to try to race me. Oh my god, is he really gonna Divine Spirit stuff? Oh, Jesus Christ. Gonna draw a card off that Divine Spirit. He's got a 3/12 with taunt now. Luckily, it at least didn't kill my thing, but it looks like he is going for the race. Which I cannot blame him for. That is a terrible card. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and kill this Fen Creeper off. Might as well just use this, I suppose. Going to have to make a difficult choice here. Either I kill off the thing that draws cards, but it costs me more resources to kill it off. Or I kill this, which is more efficient, but then I let him keep drawing cards. I think I need to kill off the thing that's drawing him cards. Geomancer is completely unhelpful here. Alright, so now we play a Taunter. And sure. Let's just throw a bunch of crap down here. Hope he continues not to have Shadow Word Death, although now this is also vulnerable to a Holy Fire because I chose not to play the healer, preferring instead to put more stuff on the board. Alright, does he have the Holy Fire? Okay, Holy Fire is not happening anymore. That's cool. I could really use a Consecration now. That would be nice. Leper Gnome. Wow. I did not see that coming. Okay, let's see what he's doing with the rest of his mana, because I think this was a mistake. By giving Leper Gnome Taunt, he's allowing me to Wind Fury my Worgen. Which is a very interesting decision, to say the least. Yeah. I'll take him up on it, I guess. We'll do this. Now, I could play this and heal my Worgen up, then it wouldn't be Wind Fury anymore. So what we're going to do instead is kill that thing, kill this thing, then play the Darkscale Healer, put this out of the range of Holy Nova and Holy Smite, we'll swing there, and if he has a Holy Nova, he has a Holy Nova. There's nothing I can do. I'm going to put stuff onto the board. Hopefully, if he does have a Holy Nova, he can't finish off my Sea Giant. Priests with 3 cards are going to have a little bit of a difficult time dealing 12 damage against a board like this, so I might actually win this game here. Oh, Thought Steal. If he gets a Consecration, I'm going to be pissed. No, but he got my Frost Elemental. Well, that's definitely not as bad as getting a Consecration. I'm okay with this. Master motherfucking Swordsmith. So, the options I have here, I could either throw away 2 minions that both died a Holy Nova and keep this bigger thing around, or I could throw him away in a Recruit. You know, I think against a Priest it's better actually to do it this way, because this thing is so difficult for priests to kill, being a 4-power creature. It just seems worth it. Do I throw this down to have it die to Holy Nova? Do I think he has a Holy Nova? I think I'm more likely to lose because I kept it in my hand than I am because he drew a Holy Nova. So let's go ahead and Swordsmith it up. Swordsmith goes into Recruit, which sucks if it dies to Holy Nova or Elven Archer or something dumb. All my cards are on the table, so if he can deal with this efficiently, he could win this game. Or if he gets a Mind Control, for that matter, for my Sea Giant. Luckily, he didn't do that. He also drew a card after playing stuff. So this Golem is a little bit difficult to kill. Oh, jeez. This is actually a little bit difficult for me to kill his things now. I kind of want to just ignore him and go for the face, but I shouldn't do that. Okay, we're going to let this Sea Giant... God, well, hang on. 8, 12, 14, 15, 16... 18 damage. He's down to 5 health. He's going to have 4 power here. Could he deal 8 damage to me with 4 cards? I could hedge my bets and kill off this Golem at least. I don't want to pass up on chances to hit him in the face, though. Problem is I can get blown out by a Holy Nova. Well, if I kill his minions, I get blown out by Holy Nova anyway. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of bet hedging, so I will divert some resources to killing the Golem, but I will hit him with the rest of my strength. Play Violet Teacher and Recruit. So he shouldn't be able to deal 10 damage. But with four cards, I'm a little bit worried about what he could potentially pull off. But if he doesn't do anything good this turn, I actually have the kill next turn, thanks to Sea Giant. So he needs to at least kill this.
Is someone injured?
Northstrike Cleric does nothing. Abusive Sergeant allows the Gnomish Adventure to kill off the Sea Giant, but that's still okay. I've still got lethal damage. He needs taunt or removal here. Do I still have lethal 4, 7? Yeah, I still have lethal damage. Oh my goodness, am I gonna steal this game? He needs taunt or removal or something. Ah, he did. Okay. Well, alright. We cut a break there. The Druid had everything he needed. This Priest needed a Holy Nova and didn't have it, so we got that game. But that was pretty tense. And Sea Giant, again, much better than Sword of Justice. That 8/8 body was really crucial. Both for the things it was able to kill when I was at low health, and then for the damage it was able to deal to bring my opponent down. Okay, well, 5 wins I'm pretty happy with. I mean, that does sort of end the... If I were to lose, that would end the kind of, like, hit or miss thing I've had going on with Paladin, where it's, like, either 8 or above or 1. But, that's fine. Pretty happy, given how rocky this all was, to make it up to 5 wins with this particular deck. Masked Booby, that's a very interesting name. Wow, Equality. So I could just keep Equality Consecration and, like, plan to use it on turn 6 to kill all of his stuff. Okay, we'll do that. We'll try it out. Might as well make this an education arena and see if it actually works. To keep Equality Consecration and just plan to kill all of everything your opponent's played. Alright. So, of course, if he has a really aggressive start, I'm going to be totally screwed, but he did mulligan his whole hand, so he's at the mercy of his deck. Well, the mulligan was seemingly a good one. So we're going to make a recruit here. The recruit, if the Worgen were to attack me, could kill it off. And the Worgen is not a bad play next turn, depending on what he drops here. Note that he still has the coin.
The mana.
Mana Addict. Alright, well, this is interesting. So he's probably going to keep this hidden. Yep. And I could play the Worgen. But actually, it looks like this is a good move here. Let's actually get that recruit to kill the Mana Addict. And now I'm actually a card ahead, because I used a recruit to kill a Mana Addict, and the recruit came from my hero ability. So this is actually a really nice start to the game. He's got 7 cards to my 7, and I'm drawing ahead as the first player. So that's pretty cool. I'd use the Infiltrator to kill the Abusive Sergeant if I were in his shoes. Get some value out of it while you can, and in fact, he thinks along similar lines. Well, I've got 2 main options here. One is I could play the Argent Protector, kill the Piglet, and make a reinforcement. Then I have the most board presence, but then the Hunter will get to kill my Argent Protector. Another option is I could use my mana less efficiently. I could play the Worgen and just have the recruit trade for the pig. Then the Worgen is threatening to kill this in turn on Wind Fury, which kind of compels him to use some sort of removal to kill the Worgen, which might stop him from playing other cards. Like if I were to do the Argent Protector recruit plan, he could kill my Argent Protector and just play like Ascension or something. Do I care about that though, if I'm going to play Equality Consecration later on? Ah, man. The odds are that he's got removal. I don't actually want him to use removal. I want him to play stuff. Yeah. I want him to play things, so that his things all die. I don't want him to kill my things. So this is making it extremely untempting for him to kill my stuff. He's just going to want to kill the Protector, but he doesn't want to use removal against these recruits. So I think that was the right choice strategically. And then it is not likely, but it is actually possible that I'll get to Sea Giant next turn for 5 mana. Not likely. He'd have to kill this and then make a totem and a minion, or play another swarm creature to get 5 total minions on the board, but it is possible. Stranger things have happened. And it is in fact going to happen. This Impmaster is going to pop an imp, and I'm going to play Sea Giant. Oh gosh. Fork the what? Oh no, are you kidding me? Why would he do that? I mean, clearly there's a reason for doing that, but he's really hardcore about not letting paladins keep creatures. Oh my goodness. Well, do I just wait for Equality Consecration next turn? Is it worth it to play like the Worgen, given that it's probably gonna die?
Reporting for duty.
Yeah. I'm just gonna make a recruit and pass the turn. I've got the Equality Consecration. I'm gonna act like I've got a bad hand and I had nothing to do. He's overloaded. Oh, you know, I should have thought about that. He's overloaded, so he's not that likely to make much more than a totem here. But if he makes a real minion, that would be nice. He's gonna coin out. Please be something good like Ascension, maybe, or something? Ascension? Yeti? Dark Iron Dwarf. Perfect. Okay, so that'll die. It's gonna take a moment to kill my recruit, so this guy knows not to let paladins keep creatures. Man, he's been watching my channel. What's hilarious is I almost don't even need equality. Just regular old Consecration will get the job done, pretty much. I could also just play Sea Giant. Problem is, if I play Sea Giant, he's gonna, like, throw a bunch of stuff at it. Oh, man. Alright, I'm gonna make a little bit of a strange move. I'm actually gonna play Loot Hoarder.
Mind if I roll need?
I could still play Sea Giant here, but I'm gonna do Loot Hoarder Consecration. So I still, because I drew another Consecration, I still have Equality Consecration. My judgment here is that now the Loot Hoarder will kill the Dark Iron Dwarf or the Imp Master. And either one of them, even if it doesn't die, will die to a Consecration later. But I wanted to get a little minion on the board here. Get a card in this, you know, in my hand, all that good stuff.
The Frostwolves.
Frostwolf Warlord. Well, that's unfortunate. So had I done Equality Consecration, this Warlord would not be quite so big. My opponent will oblige me and give me a card. And I'm, of course... Oh my gosh, is that an Elven Archer? Please be Elven Archer. It's a lightning bolt to the face. Interesting choice. I don't know why he did that. Don't know why he did that. Alright, so he's going for the race. He does have 10 damage here. I don't want to do Equality Consecration. That seems stupid. Crap. This Frostwolf Warlord just being a regular old 6/6 against my handful of junk and a Sea Giant is pretty unimpressive. Yeah, here's where a Sword of Justice might have been better. Oh, if he lightning bolted my face, it suggests he's got... You know, it suggests that he has burn. So I will now throw out Equality Consecration, and I'm at the mercy of his deck, because he's got the initiative here. I've got card advantage 5-3, but he has the initiative. If he can drop good stuff onto the table, he can win this game. What I'm gambling on is that he's got some kind of weird burn cards, and then he wanted to try to burn me out, and is not going to be able to now. No, I gambled wrong. He's just got solid minions. Shit. So this is 8 mana. I can't afford to do that, though. I have to do my other stuff. So we'll drop a Taunter. That's important. And then I want to put down as many things as possible. Let's do that. And let's do that. Alright. So I hope he doesn't have a Lightning Storm, because that would probably win him the game. If these two cards are weak, though, he's in trouble, because what he can do right now is you can use the Yeti to kill my Taunt. The Knife Juggler should probably kill the Worgen. This Yeti will then die to my Bloodfen Raptor, but first I'll be able to play Sea Giant. And so if he doesn't have a good card here, like a big minion of some sort, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Smartly, he kills my Enrage guy before playing any minions, because if he were to play a minion and have it Enrage my guy, it would have killed the Yeti. He unfortunately ends up enraging my Worgen, so he has to either play Forked Lightning or throw the Knife Juggler into it. Looks like he's going to throw the Knife Juggler into it, because otherwise that would be suicide. Alright, so this guy's pretty scary, but I'm at 13 health and the Shaman's got no cards in his hand. Have I already used Abusive Sergeant this game? I don't think I have, so I might actually be able to use Big Game Hunter with the help of Abusive Sergeant. So let's see. I can play Violent Teacher and Sea Giant, but I think more is, well, more is not merrier if this guy gets enraged. But this will just die to the Tiger. Yeah, I think more is merrier. We're going to do this. And then I can do this. And then I can still do this. And then we're gonna go ahead and kill that Yeti. Alright, so you can hit me down to 11, but that's with him only having 1 card per turn, not really good enough. So he needs an answer for the Sea Giant. Currently he's only got 7 damage. So this either needs to be some sort of a buff to be able to kill the Sea Giant, or it needs to be Hex. Hex is the only card in the game, though, that will help him. Taunt is probably the best totem he could have flipped for himself, because if I have to use my Sea Giant to attack into this taunt, that is terrible. And in fact, that's probably what's going to happen, because he's going to use the Tiger to kill this, the Berserker to kill that, and then I have to throw my Sea Giant into this taunt. Oh, that's so awful. I need a Wolf Rider to clear this out, or even like a Truce of a Champion to clear this out, or my 3rd and final Consecration to clear it out. Oh my gosh, is he gonna really race? He's actually gonna race. I don't think he made the right call there. Don't think he made the right call, because I can actually now get rid of his stuff. I think my opponent, yeah, I do think my opponent messed up strategically here. He left me with the means to clear the taunt totem and kill that thing. I can now put more stuff onto the board. I'm gonna keep this around in case of Earth Elemental or Core Hound or something silly. He's only got 4 damage here. Maybe he is playing to his outs. I mean, maybe he's got a Lava Burst in his deck, and so if he this puts me within Lava Burst range. But still, I don't think he made the right call. I guess another taunt. It doesn't matter so much now. I've got enough minions that I'll be able to clear it out. Notice the arrow is incorrect. It's all pointing at me. So maybe he's thinking like if he gets like a lightning bolt, that plus this will kill me, and he's just playing to his outs. That is actually possible. That is possible. All right, so let's see. Can I actually kill him? I've got 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, I can't kill him. So we're going to use the Wolf Rider to kill the Berserker. Gonna throw the Recruit away, because I'm running out of space on the board. Alright, so he can get me down to 3 health. That means a Lightning Bolt, a Rock Biter weapon, or, well, frankly, a lot of different things will kill me. Do I need to play this in order to be able to have the kill? No, I've got the kill anyway. So yeah, he's just got 1 top deck chance to kill me. So my Arena Life hangs in the balance of this top deck. Lightning Bolt, Rock Biter weapon, Charge Creature, any of those killed me. He gets another Taunt Totem. He's flipped 3 of those in a row, let me just point out. I've still got lethal though, because this will kill the taunt, and I've got 11, 12, 13, 14 right here. Unless this card is a taunt card or a removal card. He does not have it. Oh my gosh, that was another very close game. Lots of really close games this run. He had me down to 3 health. I think he made... Okay. It was correct eventually for him to start going at my face, because he put himself in a position where that was the only way that he could win. But there was a turn where I think he messed up. He could have... It was a turn when I had a Recruit, a 1-1... Sorry, a Recruit 1-1, a 2-3, and then my Sea Giant, which was 8-8. He played Stormforged Axe, and he sent a Tiger, a Berserker at my face, as well as the Axe. What he should have done was he should have used the Tiger to kill my Bloodsail Raider. He should have used his Amani Berserker to kill my 1-1, and then he could have hit me in the face with the Axe, but then I would have just had a Sea Giant squaring off against his Taunt Totem, and I would have had to run into the Taunt Totem because I ended up not drawing an answer, and he would have then been able to hit me for 10 damage the following turn with a much clearer board. So he, did it a turn early. He went for my face a turn early. I am... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to say this. I am 100% certain. Okay, I guess I can't be 100% certain, but I am really freaking certain that he would have won the game if he had done that. So I really want both of these cards. The problem is... I'm going to just keep them both. Against a Warlock, I just want to have Consecration. I got a quality Consecration again. That experiment I don't think was a success. But yeah, we're going to play it super slow here. Oh no, never mind. I'm totally going to play this thing. Since I've got a really slow hand, I want to be able to kill off early minions that he might play. I don't want to count on Consecration to kill stuff. If he has a Mortal Coil, then he has a Mortal Coil. But yeah, this is actually saving me a lot of damage. Or you... No, don't play a Voidwalker. Do not... Oh, thank God. Okay. So it was actually really good that I played this, because this is a lot of damage that he would have been hitting me with. In fact, I will even... Well, actually, I'm going to make this. It's a little bit of a tough call. You might say, Boris, why not make this? It'll kill the Flame Imp. Well, the Flame Imp's going to almost certainly die to Consecration in 2 turns. And if he starts going at my face, I'm okay with that, because then I'll have this recruit to deal an extra point of damage in case he plays something with 3 health in a moment. Fairy Dragon also dies to Consecration, so is he going to keep my board clear? He is. Okay, so he's not going to let a Paladin keep creatures. I see how it is. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do Infiltrator and a Recruit. And we're going to see what he plays. He's got a very aggressive deck. We've seen 2 Flame Imps and a Fairy Dragon, so he probably drafted aggro, which means it's really good that I've got 3 Consecrations in my deck. Currently, though, I only have 1 of them, and unfortunately, well, I don't really want to play Consecration yet. Yeah, this is not the time for Consecration. This is the time for True Silver Champion. Now, do I trade this against the Flame Imp? Or do I wait for this to serve a nobler purpose? I'm going to actually wait for that to serve a nobler purpose. Because that Flame Imp's either dead to Consecration or it's dead to True Silver Champion. Either way, this thing can do something better. Alright, so he's going to life tap. All the damage so far has been self-inflicted. There's Voidwalker. That'll be happy to die. So he's dealt 9 damage to himself with Flame Imps. Let the record show. Alright. So do I Consecrate here, leaving this a 1-1? Yeah, I think so. This is clearly a hyper aggro deck that I'm facing. I mean, we've seen 3 Flame Imps, a Voidwalker, Fairy Dragon. Because of all of that self-damage, I'll leave this alive. This is fine. I'll be able to kill it later with the Infiltrator. Oh, wait, why didn't I just kill it now? That was silly. I should have probably killed this in some fashion or other. I think I've left this sitting around for too long. Alright, so he's got a little bit of endgame-ish type of stuff. But, it's not really going to help him too much because I can do that. I can then do this. I can do this, which is good against the Squire. And, I'm actually going to make a Recruit. I want to have as many cards as I can. The quality's terrible here. I really wish this were an Azure Drake. So that was a bad pick, even with 3 Consecrations, in this particular deck at least. I want to get up to as many cards as I can, threatening to get enraged against this Squire. He's going to life tap some more, so they're going down on cards, or sorry, down on life. But he's not even ahead on cards. I mean, he's got 8 cards to my, okay, he's a little bit ahead. He's 8 cards to my soon-to-be 7. But he's not really that far ahead. And I've got a good board presence. Yeti is fine, because I can actually threaten to trade against it. So let's in fact, well, hang on, do I want to just go for his face? I could. No, that'd be silly. We're going to go ahead and do this. Swing at the face there. This is vulnerable to Mortal Coil, but I bet he would have played a Mortal Coil if he had one. So we'll just leave it alive there. Let's play the Swordsmith. Let's play the Worgen. And let's make a Recruit, try to get as many cards as possible. And then my Recruit's getting a little bit tougher thanks to the Swordsmith. So, he's got 7 cards. Probably there's an answer to this, but the only really good answer is a Mortal Coil. Anything else is a little bit overkill. I guess Drain Life would actually be alright, if a little bit expensive. But he does need to kill this, so that he can... I was going to actually Shadow Bolt that. Interesting. And Spellbreaker, I see. And then use the Yeti to kill that thing. So my Yeti, he's actually got a lot of power here. It's difficult for me to kill his stuff. I could actually now Equality, because my stuff's all at 1 health already. And just trade a bunch. I could also go for the face. I mean, I could hit him for 5 down to 9. That seems silly. Let's just Equality up. Use Recruit. A dude. Swing. Play a Recruit. Play a Loot Hoarder. And sure, we'll put this Recruit back into my hand. So it's 5 cards to 6. My cards are pretty weak, but he's playing hyper aggro, so I'm guessing most of his cards are pretty weak too. And I've still got a Sea Giant and Gruul in here, and 2 Dark Scale healers. You know, if one of them would like to show up at some point, that'd be great. Big Game Hunter, a little bit awkward. Probably not going to see any targets for it. I've already used my Abusive Sergeant. That came up earlier in the game, so it's really not likely that the Big Game Hunter is going to have any targets at all. So, yeah, I'm probably just going to have to play him at some point as a 4-2 for 3. Lay on Hands would have been better again, although there was one game where the Big Game Hunter was really clutch, so it's kind of hard to say what would have been better overall. Well, this is a tense game. It really could go in any direction. But if he doesn't have much interference in these cards, this is 7 damage, which is like actually kind of a lot if you think about it. This is 7 damage. Here he's at 12 health. So it's this little like, what is it? Troop. This little battalion of minions is a little bit serious for him. He has to consider it in some fashion. But a big taunt or like even like Ascension would just pretty much catch him right back up. If he life taps here, that will show he's desperate because he really shouldn't life tap. He should just play minions. Either play minions with taunt or kill my minions or something. He's not at a point where he should really be losing any more health. Stampeding Coda will kill either my Loot Hoarder or my Recruit. Kills the Recruit, which is unfortunate because it doesn't give me a card. He plays that, which was unfortunate for him because I only had 3 minions. Violet Teacher is really nice here.
Pay attention, class.
So I'm actually going to go for his face. Might as well just put as much pressure on as we can. He kind of demonstrated last turn not having much by way of interference or removal, so let's just try to flood the board and burn him out. I've still got 1 True Sliver Champion here and 2 Consecrations for a little bit of extra damage, plus a Wolf Rider. Ah, he's got Lord Jaraxxus. Well, that's unfortunate, because now he's up to 15 health, and he can start making 6/6s next turn, and he can actually deal with my board pretty effectively as well here. Oh my gosh, I might actually lose the game. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that dealt the damage, which is good. It's gonna kill my biggest thing. I actually would have, if I were in his position, I would have actually killed this Loot Hoarder. I think he messed up by not doing that. So do I use this? I'm actually gonna do this. The reason being, I really need to get Sea Giant or Gruul to have a very good chance of winning. And there's Sea Giant. Okay, so I can make a Recruit. I can actually make another Recruit. What would make me lose now is if he has a Defender of Argus or a Sun Fury Protector. Well, it wouldn't make me lose because actually this thing could power through them, but if he has an answer for this and can give one of these guys taunt. Like the worst turn ever would be Siphon Soul, this dude, Sun Fury Protector. Then I lose the game. Granted, that is like 2 particular cards, but both of which are rares. But there's a little bit of scary potential here. I do have lethal damage, it's worth noting, so if you can't give this taunt, it's pretty meaningless. Or play Shadow Flame. Stormpride Commando makes no difference. Why did he shoot this? Oh, I see. He's just losing. I see. Alright, so yeah, we beat Lord Jaraxxus. That's pretty sweet. Thanks to Sea Giant, it must be noted. Sword of Justice would have been pretty pathetic there. Okay, cool. Up to 7 wins with what I think was a pretty mediocre deck. We were actually at 4-2 with this hunk of junk. And the 2 losses were really heartrending. But, and a lot of the wins were very difficult, so there's just like a lot going against this deck. But I guess my Paladin streak continues. And now we'll just see what we can do before we poop out. Clang! Nice fast start here. It's mulligan the Frost Elemental, but I'm actually going to keep Violet Teacher because it's one of the few good 4-drops I have. So we'll play the Panda on turn 1 with the coin. We'll play the Raptor on turn 2. We'll pray he doesn't have a Forked Lightning on turn 3, and then this coming down on turn 4 could be good. If he has a slow start and doesn't have Forked Lightning, I could just run away with this. Oh, never mind. Don't even need a coin. Fan-fiddly-tastic. Still vulnerable to Forked Lightning, but at least I'm not losing my coin. I could actually coin out the Violet Teacher on turn 3, or wait and try to get a 1-1 off the coin. Please don't be a 1-1. It's a 1-1. Lord on a frickin' pony. Oh my god, seriously? That just had to be the 1-1, huh? So I'm going to try to kill this 1-1 with my 3-2. Hopefully he doesn't have Forked Lightning. Unbound Elemental. Alright, well that's actually really, really good to see. Because what I can do now is coin True Silver before the Unbound Elemental gets any bigger. And I can kill off that 1-1 stupid totem and attack him. So if he plays Forked Lightning now, he gets up a card, but I already went up a card by killing the Unbound Elemental with my True Silver Champion. Then I can also play Violet Teacher, and he'll be overloaded next turn, dealing with the Violet Teacher with only 3 mana. So that's pretty great. I mean, I'd still rather he didn't have Forked Lightning, but this is a pretty good situation to be in if he does have Forked Lightning. I'd say that was a pretty good start. Earth Shock is fantastic. This would have been, you know, potentially useful against other things. So he's just going to use single target removal. None of which has overload, unfortunately. So he's going to have the full 5 mana next turn. But I am going to get some more card advantage, killing the Fairy Dragon with my True Sliver. And we'll drop Violet Teacher. Wow, Gruul actually shows up in a game. That's bizarre. Don't know what the heck that's all about. So I kind of wish this were Sylvanas, honestly, so that it were dropping 2 turns sooner. Sylvanas is a 5/5 with an ability that makes your opponent sweat, and she drops 2 turns sooner. Yep, that was a misdraft. I really should have taken Sylvanas. This thing again, seriously? Well, he's got a Hex. It's actually still annoying that he got a 1/1 because the 1/1 will kill my frog, and the frog is actually kind of useful. In fact, I could use the panda to save my frog before I can kill this thing. No, that's silly. I've got this. I really should save the panda. So let's go ahead and do this thing. Should I put a Divine Shield on this thing preemptively? Or a Divine Shield on my frog to protect it from the 1/1? That seems silly. No, let's just make a recruit then. Call it a day. I could have made a panda and immediately replayed the frog, but again, I'd like to save the panda for the protector. Alright, so he's actually going to use this 1/1 to trade up against the 2/3, which is extremely irritating. And now I really wish that I had Sylvanas, because Sylvanas would be an amazing thing to drop right here. Big Game Hunter is not helpful. This is just awkward. I got nothing good to do. Okay, I guess what we're going to do then is blow our load here, figuratively speaking. I'm going to do that guy. I'm going to hit his face, because it makes no sense to hit the totem. I'm going to put him back into my hand, so I have him in the future. I'm going to make a recruit to go up a card, and now we're just biding our time till Gruul can be played. He might have a second Hex. If he does, that sucks, but at least there's a chance that Gruul will survive in 2 turns. The card I don't want to see right now is Fire Elemental. Alright, no Fire Elemental, thank goodness. He's got a second Unbound Elemental. And a Totem, hopefully it's not a taunt. Are you goddamned kidding me? He's gotten, apart from this Healing Totem, the perfect totem at every single step. Lord on a frickin' pony. So that means I actually can't kill this Unbound Elemental, because I could have put a Divine Shield on this guy, hit it, used a Recruit, but now I have to use both Recruits to get past this taunt. Unless, of course, I Consecrate. All that really does is clears out his totems. You know what? I'm actually just going to Consecrate. There's nothing else to do. I don't want to play this and leave him with a huge board. So we are going to Consecrate here. Clears out the totems. I'm going to put a Divine Shield there. Question is, do I use both of my Recruits to kill this thing? Yeah, because I'm pretty vulnerable to Lightning Storm, so I might as well have those Recruits go to good use. So the board's been cleared. Smoke's cleared. He's got 4 cards to my 6. I am ahead on cards. I have decent card quality with Gruul and the healer. The issue is, of course, if he has a Hex for the Gruul. But if he doesn't have Hex, I'm fine. He keeps flipping the best possible totems. Oh my god. That is a frustration. Alright, we're going to make a little bit of a tech play here. I'm actually going to hang on to Gruul for a second. Sneak a Frost Elemental out here. So the reason is, I want to see if he has a Hex. Like, in this situation, facing this board, if he had a Hex with 9 mana, he'd totally use it on this 5/5. I'm going to assume if this thing doesn't get Hexed, that he doesn't have Hex. And then I'll be able to play the Gruul. I hope he doesn't have Hex, because then this thing will be able to kill the Frost Elemental. And then I'll be able to play the Gruul in much more relative safety. He does have a Hex, though. Okay, so he had it, after all. Please don't be taunt. Are you god? Wow, this guy is like the totem whisperer, for frick's sake. So this stops me from killing his stuff because I have to kill the taunt totem and then I only have 4 damage and his stuff is 5 health. Are you motherfucking kidding me? That was a 1 in 4 chance and it actually happened. Wow. Well, at least this frog is helping Gruul to survive. So I will play Gruul. I will do that and I'm gonna hit him in the face. There's really no point throwing my minions away for nothing. So he's played 2 hexes. Let's see if he has a 3rd hex. I mean, it really is. If he doesn't have a 3rd hex, he'd need a lightning bolt or Rockbiter weapon, and then he'd have to throw the Frost Elemental at it as well, which I would say makes it worthwhile in that case. Or like a Fire Elemental would have also done the job. He has a third Hex, ladies and gentlemen. If this is a Taunt Totem, I am gonna flip a bitch. The Healing Totem's also bad, but it's not as bad as Taunt. So he's throwing everything onto the board. Big Game Hunter's terrible here. This could have been Lay on Hands, which would have been better. So I think that was a misdraft, officially. He had 3 hexes. He had 3 hexes. Alright. This thing will die to the Frost Elemental, sadly. But we just gotta throw stuff down. So we're gonna do that. Gonna do that. Gonna do that.
This is my
I'm gonna kill that thing.
I fight.
Kill that thing. Give him a card, sadly, and hit him in the face. And pass the turn. This is bad. He can clear my board relatively easily, and he's got 2 cards to work with, plus he's putting totems out on the field every time. 1/1's not the worst this time. He had 3 hexes. I don't believe it. Well, I could still get Sea Giant. Sea Giant is still in my deck. Consecration would also be pretty stupendous. So this thing is the only thing that hasn't attacked. He will, of course, kill my healer. The question is, how good are his cards? The answer is pretty spectacular, because I have to now divert 3 damage killing that thing, and I've kind of already got my hands full killing his other stuff. Quality is just the worst thing in the universe here. I guess, I guess I'm going to use it so I can actually kill his stuff efficiently. So now I can kill that Manatide. I can kill this, and this, and this. I'm just gonna play this Hunter because I need bodies. But, you know, if this had been Lay on Hands, I could have drawn 3 cards and that would have swung the tide potentially. So I'm lucky I made it to 7 wins with a deck that had lots of misdrafts. The quality should have been an Azure Drake. This guy should have been Lay on Hands. Master Swordsmith should have been a Mind Control attack. And he draws another Taunt. 1 in 3 odds, of course. Archmage is a pretty big deal here. But still get Sea Giant. Nope.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Well, it's not impossible for me to lose. He seems to have some kind of a weird situation here. If he doesn't have Lightning Storm or removal, this guy can only kill my Big Game Hunter, and I do have 6 damage. He's at 14 health with a True Silver Champion. I might be able to win. You never know. 3 cards, though, is a lot of cards. Seems not to be Lightning Storm or Forked Lightning, though. It's Fire Elemental, that's sad. Alright, well, I'm going to be sending everything at his face. I think that's my only chance here. Master Swordsmith. Oh, Master Swordsmith. You are hilarious. Mind Control attack, I would have held it in my hand and probably... And I actually would have been able to have a chance at stealing this Fire Elemental, because he'd almost certainly play some kind of other minion. So yeah, that's definitely a misdraft. Good education, though, in this run. Good education. Alright, this is bad. I don't have any good answers to this in my deck. No Black Knight or anything. 3 hexes. Shamans have 1 card that will deal with the threats I was making. He had that 1 card at least 3 times, and he drew it 3 times. What are you going to do? You're going to lose. That's what you're going to do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This game sometimes, this game. Wolf Rider. Alright, well anyway, that's enough of that, I think. Well, let's finish this through. I am getting him down to 9 health. He's just got a pair of 6 drops, you know. 6 drops that I didn't have an answer to. Because, you know, I didn't have 3 hexes. And those are gonna mop up anything I play now. But it's possible I can win, because if I do draw a True Silver Champion and hit him in the face, and then I draw Consecration to clear out Taunt Totems, I hit him in the face again, I could actually win. So yes, if my next two cards are in that order, True Silver Champion, followed by Consecration, it's possible that I will win, given some combinations of cards that my opponent will have. Oh, and of course the totem he makes needs to be the 1/1, not the taunt. So, all those things happening, and I might win. He got the taunt. Well, that's great. Dark Iron Dwarf would have been... Oh, I forgot I had this. I actually forgot I had a Dark Iron Dwarf. That would have been good with Big Game Hunter. Maybe I could have held out. Well, it's still possible that I'll win. Still possible. If I get Consecration, and then True Silver Champion. Bloodlust. Oh gosh, that's a lot of damage. Is he actually going to win with that? He might win. I think that's actually lethal. Yes, that is actually lethal damage. So, hey, that's well played. I'm not going to say well played. Oh, he missed lethal. No, he didn't miss lethal. The game is just buggy where it points your arrows. Stupid game. Alright, well played. Except not really. You should read an emote for that sucked. You just drew 3 hexes, but what are you going to do? Alright, so that's that. Let's now wrap it up. If you enjoyed this, do please like and or subscribe. And let's take a look at our prize as well. So for 7 wins, we're gonna get 150 gold and 20 dust. Not the most impressive thing, but I am pretty happy to get dust. I'm only 15,000 dust away from a complete set, or at least a complete set of legendaries. This pack is a little bit special. 40 dust, so it's an extra 35 dust compared to an average pack. I will happily accept this. So I got like 55 extra dust here. 55 dust for total, and then plus another 20 for that Kirin Tor Mage. So a total of 75 dust. Now we watch the animation. Oh no, wait, I counted that wrong. I'm sorry, because the Deadly Shot wasn't disenchanted just yet. Oh, it's 50 dust, right, yes, forgot about that. Anyway, that was a lot of dust. I need to get up to like 35,200. So I'm just a little under 15, or sorry, did I do that right? Hang on, I'm sorry folks, let me just get my calculator here. Those of you sticking around might as well. I need 35,000 dust. Oh wow, yeah, I only need 13,000 dust. Under 13,000 dust now, and I've made it. That's pretty slick. Thanks for watching. Let's take a sneak peek at our next arena. Again, please like and or subscribe, and the next run's gonna be Shaman, Druid, or Warlock. I'll see you then, folks.